Folks, welcome back to another exciting episode. We're back on this Buick LeSabre that's been sitting for 34 years. I bought it from a scrapyard where it was days away from being crushed. We drug it into the shop and immediately got it up on 4 jack stands to see what was in store for us. After removing the hood and all the shrubbery, it was time to change out a pesky starter that still wouldn't work after extensive cleaning. A set of points and plugs go a long way for spark. Combine that with some fresh gas and we had a runner. Now, unfortunately, we thought the engine could potentially have rod knock, but after some diagnosis, the oil pan was discovered as the culprit. That's how we discovered this engine is practically brand new internally, and the sound it was making was the likely reason it got parked. There was a sizable dent that, once it was pushed back out, made the engine go silent.
It's silent now.
While we were here, I fixed the broken idler arm so we could have some safer turns, and that's where we are currently. Now that you're caught up, sit back, relax, and see if this old Buick can run and drive for the first time since 1989.
Hey folks, real quick. First, I'll be attending a car show here at a local church September 9th. So if you want to see that, link is down in the description below for the Facebook event page. Also, I have the Challenger t-shirts back in stock for a limited time. If you pre-order through July 31st, you will get a t-shirt. If you do anything after that, they're gone, and I don't know when they'll come back. So make sure you order that shirt before July 31st because that's when the pre-order sale is done.
Well, carburetor came off, and I noticed a lot of vacuum leaks. Actually, there was 2 major ones, especially the one going to the brake booster was the biggest one, and they used RTV on the gasket here for some reason, so I'm not sure what was going on there, and I don't think it's fuel resistant. So we had 2 major vacuum leaks, and I took it off and we're gonna rebuild it now. I'm gonna try and see if we can rebuild it. I've got a kit here, and I'm hoping that everything's gonna go okay. Man, the amount of trash that came out of this carburetor, and that's not even half of it. I mean, I had to scrub it. But now, Briar is working on putting the last bolt onto the base plate there, and we should have a rebuilt carburetor. We had 2 vacuum leaks, and the biggest one was this one over here. There's a hard line that goes to the brake booster, and that fitting on the back side of the carburetor, yeah, it was finger tight, so that wasn't gonna be any good. That's like a giant vacuum leak. So I still hold by, I think that it was running lean the whole time, and it was obviously full of trash. All the jets were clogged up. I mean, it was bad. So what do you think, Briar? You think it'll run better this time?
It should.
Well,
I'm not gonna say it is.
Yeah, well, there you go. Thanks for the confidence. Inside the car, we've got a newer ignition switch. It doesn't really work that great. I had to drill a hole in the old ignition switch just to get it out of there and get the plug out of the way. But we can start it with a screwdriver at least. That's really all that matters. And with that, we don't have to run a jumper wire to the coil, and we can start and stop the car with the key. So it's kind of handy. It sounds like it's working. Okay, go ahead. A little choke. Now try it. Oh, not again. The starter's acting weird. We haven't figured out what it is. I've tried tightening it. I don't know what it is. Try and push the, like hold the back of the plug against the switch and then try it.
Maybe idle's too low.
I'm afraid we're going to put a new starter on it, but go ahead, try it again. Hold on one sec. Let me get some wires out of here. All right, try it again. What the heck? I think it's out of gas. So I took the top plate off the carburetor and the float was set just a little bit too high. So I lowered it down and it seems that everything's holding now. The needle and seat can actually fully close. So I'm gonna hook the fuel line back up and we're gonna try and start it. I've loosened the distributor up so I can kind of play with it. The only problem is that I can only advance it because of how the distributor is pointed. I might have to take it off and reclock it and see what we got to do from there. But since I can advance it, I'm just going to see if that's the problem. If it's not, we know we can go the other direction. So Briar, if you want to do the honors, let's see if it'll start. Hang on, let me give her a couple pats there. Give it a try. Did it just die?
I didn't do that.
You didn't do that? Oh, maybe it just died. Try again. Uh-oh, not again. Okay, round two. We've got the bump start back hooked up, but Briar can kill it with the ignition switch inside because now we're getting power to the coil from the key. So here we go. Hook up the vacuum advance. That's advancing the timing. How about a little more? That's too low. That's too low. Still got a rock to it, but let me go get my timing light and see if I can figure out what that is. All right. Keep going. So Briar, once you pull it into gear, pull it down into neutral and let it stop, and then we'll go the other direction. Oh! That sounded terrible, but it worked. All right, go down to drive. Oh, the muffler is rubbing the the muffler's rubbing the U-joint, so we gotta fix that. But it's working. That's awesome. We've got forward gears. Pull it all the way down into low. Yeah. So that noise, I don't know if you can see the muffler moving in there. That's what it is. We can fix that. All right, up in the neutral. Let it stop spinning, and they go all the way to park. Perfect. Look at there. We've got a transmission, Briar.
Yay.
Ah, nice. And look, it seems like it's idling a little happier. Man, I don't know. We just got to kind of play with it. A lot of stuff isn't, you know, been used in a long time. Seems pretty snappy though, don't you think?
I think it'll be pretty quick.
You think it'll do a burnout?
I don't know about that part.
Oh yeah, come on now. These drums, God, they're huge. Huh?
It's got to stop a bus.
Yeah, that is true.
Got it now. Not bad.
Oh, that looks great inside. It looks like, oh dude, the brakes, either they're super low miles or the brakes were done right before this car was parked. You can see those wheel cylinders are probably not that good. That side looks like the cup's about to come out of there. But the shoes, man, wow, they're knee deep. That looks awesome. I don't know if they were just done. It looks like, you know, I don't know. It's either this car is super low miles or somebody just did the brakes. And there's still a ton of material left in the drum, so we could turn that and get those back to normal. I bought wheel cylinders, so that's probably all we'll do is just throw some wheel cylinders in it, make sure the brake lines are good, brake hoses and everything are working right, and that should get us on the road. What do you think, Briar? How's it look over here?
Looks pretty good.
Same story? Lots of material there. How about right here? Ooh, yeah. Whole lot of material left on that.
It's a Buick, a big Buick. But don't let that scare you. People who think they can't afford it are surprised when they get the facts. We can't blame you for thinking it costs a lot of money. It looks it. Talk to the man who talks your language. One thing for sure, he won't take you to the cleaners.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick than any other car this year?
Great news! I've been trying to get the rear brake hose off, and I've managed to split both brake lines. Briar has had the fortunate luck of having the exact same thing happen with him on the front. So by the time this car is done, it's going to have all brand new brake lines. And I'm hoping that the main supply line that goes the length of the car stays together, because that would be great if it could do that for me, so I don't have to replace that. But as of right now, it's looking like everything's going to have to come out and be fixed. So I've got all stainless lines. I've got a whole reel of it. We're going to use that on this back side of the car. But as you can see, I mean, it just split in half. So there was nothing I could have done. It was so brittle. I mean, it was really heavily pitted that it was on its way out anyway. So it's all good. I'm not worried about it. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Well, more great news. Managed to split the main supply line. So Briar is going to go ahead and pop it loose at the junction box up front. And this car is going to have all brand new brake lines by the time this is said and done. Right there is where it all comes together. But every time I kept messing with one, it would just snap. The only good line is a supply line coming off the master cylinder, which that's like 5/16 anyway or something like that, so it's much stronger. Well, I have stainless steel brake line running all the way to the back of the car. I wasn't too worried about trying to match the factory contour in some places. Like, I just didn't want to waste it doing those extra bends for no reason. So it's going to go all the way back to the rear. I was able to get it matching in the factory clip, so that helped a lot. And then you can see it goes up over the frame rail and then right back down to where the brake hose is going to be. I got to cut this side short, put 2 flares and fittings on it. We're ready. Alright, there's new brake lines in there, and Briar has started working on putting the wheel cylinders back in, new brake hoses, and as you can see, he has become one with the car. So good luck with that. I still have a couple more brake lines to make. I've completed all the ones going from each wheel cylinder basically. There you can see the 2 new ones going into each wheel cylinder. And I've finished up the one going to the rear of the car, but I ran out of line to do the rear axle. So I went and got some, so let's tackle that. There's one. And there's 2. Last piece of our puzzle here is getting this master cylinder out. You can see how much PB Blaster we've used because it's almost gone. and let that sit for a second, and we're gonna try and break it loose. And of course it's stuck. Ooh, that master cylinder is not that pretty in there. Zero fluid at all, nothing but dust. Well, I caught the. Go out. I caught the. Quit melting! Ah! Broke it loose. A little heat can go a long way. Thankfully, when you're running with these larger diameter brake lines, things seem to jive a little bit better because the diameter's bigger. So it's got a little more surface area to work with. Thank goodness. Ooh! Big thunder. Oh dang, that's a roof rattler. You okay, buddy?
I think so. I'm working on it.
He had to do all sorts of brakes today.
Not fun.
Drums are awful, aren't they?
Absolutely.
So he told me that if he had to come back and do brakes, he's just going to go ahead and call it quits. He said he's done. So what you've accomplished today, though, you got all new wheel cylinders on the front, new brake hoses, and he tackled that back one while I finished up this one. So the rears have all new brake hoses. Every square inch of the car that has brake lines is brand new. Not a single brake line was left original. All of it's stainless. And then I had to use a steel piece in the rear axle, but that's no big deal. New master cylinder. The only thing that we didn't change was the brake booster, but the pedal moved. So we're good on that front. Dixie, do you like brakes? Yeah, she likes brakes. We're gonna gravity bleed these because we're still waiting on some brake parts, specifically the wheel seals for the front drums. They didn't come in yet. So while we're doing this, we're gonna clean up the car and let these just do their thing. Fill it up, let all the bubbles air out of it, and that should fill up our lines. We'll crack all the bleeders at each corner and let the brake fluid just kind of work its way through. Now for the moment you all have been waiting for, we are going to clean this thing up while we wait for everything to get here. This is gonna be fun. We're gonna start out by pressure washing the outside, letting everything dry out, and then we'll go in to clean up the inside. This car is gonna be completely different by the time we get done. As you can see, this thing really wants to clean up. It just needs a little bit of help. But look at all the stuff that came out of it. Wow, was it nasty. Means plant life, I mean, they're just grime and dirt and grease from decades of just sitting and doing nothing. But now, it's a lot cleaner than what it was. I'm gonna cut this headliner because obviously it's not doing much lining of anything. Look there. It's just, I mean, it's just like curtains or something in this thing. That'll give us about 6 more inches of headroom. And it's still got some insulation up above it, so it doesn't look half bad. I think that looks a lot better. It's way less annoying because nothing's hanging in your face. And some of this insulation, we might be able to just try and tape it back up, but Briar's getting the back seat there. I got all the visors out of the way because they were just destroyed, but now nothing's hanging in your face when you try to drive the car. So that's much nicer. Our goal is to make this car look a heck of a lot better. Now, of course, pressure washing it and cleaning it does a lot, but I want this thing to shine. So that's exactly what we're gonna do here. Starting out with Poppy's Patina Wax and Grease Remover. We're gonna use this first to get it looking really clean so we have a good surface that's prepped, and then we're gonna move on to the Wipe On Clear Coat. This is our gloss clear, and this stuff makes anything like these old cars shine You cannot beat it. I love this product. So we're gonna start, clean the surface, prep it, make sure it's totally dry, no water, no trash, and then we're gonna clear it. So I told Briar that he could have a little fun if he can get the muffler off this car. As you heard before, it's rubbing the U-joint. So we're not even gonna mess with it. It's got, looks like the factory muffler on it, I'd have to guess. But the hanger broke behind right here. You can't really see it, but it's rubbing the U-joint and it's just not really that good. So I had this laying around, nice little glass pack. Told him if he can get it loose, he can take off that old muffler and put a glass pack on it.
Yeah, I ain't got a clue. I might have slid that from that way. I don't know.
Yeah, let me let this jack down. That might help you some. And I'll be able to go. Yeah, I think if you just cut it into 2 different pieces, that would get you over the axle. It's just you can't unclamp it from behind the muffler because it's welded on. So. Twist it like that.
Oh, what is in there?
Oh, dude, it's topped up completely, ain't it? Yeah. Bring it out here. Let's dump it out. See what's inside here. Whatever's in there is broken. If you take the muffler off your car and you don't start it with open exhaust, are you really trying? Like a derby car.
Sounds like one.
Woo! Now that's a car. It's a little too loud. What do you think?
I don't know.
It seems like it runs better, don't it?
I can breathe now.
Yeah. That's what it needed. I think it sounded rowdy though. But I think we should tame it down just a little bit. We want it to sound good. We don't want it to sound obnoxious, but we want it to sound good. Sounds pretty mean, don't it? Over here. No, maybe not. Sounds pretty tough. Look at there. That's a proper race car. Let me rev it up. Proper mean now. Got the drums resurfaced. We're gonna slide on the rears. And that's gonna get our brakes finished up. Look at there. That looks awesome. All original, and they look brand new on the inside. They just need to be cleaned up. Got the original wheels, and I put 205 7015s. I did a little Googling, and this is what it said the factory size is. I did not paint the wheels because we found all 4 original hubcaps. So we're gonna put all these on, and we can let the car down on the ground for the first time since, well, we started all this mess. Well, there's this side of the hubcaps on, and Briar and I both have agreed that we think that on this car in particular, all black would look better. But since we have all the hubcaps, I'm like, you might as well put them on there. This car would look better if it had like white lines or red lines, but the hubcaps are on it. And if it were up to me, what I might do eventually is repaint these wheels and get some chrome lug nuts, because that would look tough with all black. But you know, hubcaps are hubcaps, and we hate to not use them since we found all 4, which is super rare. I mean, you never find all 4 hubcaps. So we'll run them for now, and then maybe later, one day down the road, we'll run some chrome lug nuts and just steelies. We think we have a vacuum leak on the base plate of the carburetor, and Briar's gonna flip it over, tighten up those screws. I don't think I tightened them up enough, so he's doing that. What I'm doing is back here, I think that the mechanical fuel pump can work. So I have hooked up my electric pump to the original fuel line. You can't see it up in there, but it's hooked up to the metal line, and we're gonna try and clean it out the best we can by running some fuel through it. And I ran a hose coming out of the bottom of the car here, and the goal is we're gonna try catch it with this bottle of water so that way we don't make a mess. Well, for once, we're gonna try to be clean, right, Briar?
One time.
I hear something. Oh! Wow, that's nasty. Okay, that's good. We'll keep running it through there till it gets clean, but that's why we clean out the fuel line first, because it looks like that. My goodness, that is terrible. 20 bucks, drink it. Go for it.
Nah,
it's all you.
I'm a pass.
Oh yeah, that's good. It's clean now. Well, the little problem here, the needle and seat keeps sticking every single time we try to start this thing. We got the mechanical pump working, but it's just too much for the needle and seat. Like the float will not come up enough and shut it off, and it just shoots gas everywhere out of the vent tube. But I pulled the float out because I was going to put a different needle and seat in it, and listen to this. Hopefully you can hear that, but that means there's gas in here. So this thing ain't going to float if it's got fuel inside of it. And I started noticing right around here where they brazed this in, the lever, it's actually got a tiny, tiny little hole in it. So to fix that, of course I'm going to have to drill a hole in it to get all the fuel out of it, and then I'm going to have to put something on there. I don't have a brazing kit, do we? I mean, I don't have anything like that. So I'm just going to JB weld it back together and hope that it holds. But what we'll do, we'll just stick it in water and let it sit and see if like any water gets inside of it, or heck, even gas, just to see if it, you know, deteriorates anything. But I'm going to drill a hole in the top side here. Let's just see, does any gas come out of it? Yeah, get a little gas in there. Well, the proper thing to do here is to use a brazing rod. I couldn't find any in the near vicinity right this second, so what I'm doing is I'm going to use some JB Weld, and from my experiences, this is supposed to be fuel resistant, so that's exactly what we're going to hope for. I'm going to mix this up really, really good. I'm going to do a couple layers there. There we go. I drilled it in the top so at least it wouldn't be fully submerged all the time. I'm hoping that that just keeps fuel from getting in. And I think the leak is right in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around every spot that's been brazed, all the seams, and I'm going to make sure that this thing can't leak anymore. Perfect. It looks terrible, but it should do the trick, I'm hoping. So we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll submerge it in some water. We've got the float JB welded, and I mean, it looks terrible, but we're gonna see if it'll float. It passes the buoyancy test. I'm gonna put it underwater fully. If we see any bubbles, then we know we're leaking, but if we don't, we should be good. We're gonna check it out. You see any bubbles?
Looks good to me.
Looks good to me too. See? No water inside. It's floating. Carburetor's back on. We have everything tightened down, and we're gonna hope that we have everything we need. I have added a new fuel filter down there. We've got all new fuel hoses, and we're using the factory line as you saw. And what I did, I just ran it into the trunk right to a gas jug back here. So now we have everything we need for good, clean fuel. Now do it. Try it again. Come on, come on, come on. You can do it. Pick up the fuel. Still haven't picked up any fuel yet, I don't think. We'll probably get to shim that starter, but try it again. Look at there. Yeah. There we go, all fours. Uh-oh. Now I can't get the block. God, how long does this thing go? Whoa. Wow. This thing is low. Oh, it's mad. Spitting flames out. There we go. Yeah, that sounds good. Brake pedal, it's there. Pulling it down in gear. Oh, it's stopping. I don't think the booster's working though. Power steering's working. Why does it sound like a race car? Check for drive. Oh, it's not warmed up yet. But it went into gear. Oh, it's probably low on fluid, but it's going. Yeah. Check the fluid and everything. We're gonna go for a drive. Well, maybe in a second. Well, we got it to pull back inside, but the transmission's definitely low. I'm gonna add probably maybe a quarter or two. But the fluid looks fantastic in this thing. Come on, come on. Woo, big fireball. don't think we have too much timing. There we go. Good as new, right?
Oh yeah, brand new.
Where is reverse? Oh! It went suddenly that time. Before it took it a second. This thing sounds good. It just doesn't drive good is the real question. Okay, neutral. Come on now. Drive. Oh yeah. Oh no. I don't know what's going on with the starter. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I just keep crossing it over and it works. Probably needs a shim or 3. Now it's hot. Ow! Exhaust. Stay running, please. Well, we're about to go for our first test drive since 1989. Come on, give me 2 gears at least. It's a 2-speed. Hey! We've got to, oh, the speedometer works too. It says we're doing 45 and things are falling on me. The dash is rattling. We've got good oil pressure though. How about the brakes? Oh yeah, the brakes are good. They need to be adjusted though, but it actually rides pretty smooth, doesn't it, Briar?
Oh yeah, it's pretty nice.
The power steering's good. It's just got a rattle. I just wonder if they like didn't do a good job balancing the engine or something whenever they first built it or something. I don't know, man. Stay running, please. Just stay running. Ooh, it's kind of shuddery. Whoa! Let's pop it through the carburetor. She's running kind of lean. Look at the engine. Rattling. I don't know if it's a fuel delivery issue. I mean, the timing was pretty good. We got it pretty bright at initial timing, but it's just, it sounds like it's struggling. A good carburetor would really solve a lot of issues on this thing, I think. But it's just, where do you find a Buick small block 4-barrel intake like right now? You know, so I'm happy that the fact we can drive this thing and enjoy it. Well, just it takes a little finicking. Whoa, we're getting stuff flying out to the back of the car now.
Blowing off.
Yeah. You know, the interior was clean when we first started. Do we have turn signals? No, not even that. Can't get that lucky. Stuff in my hair. Oh, please downshift. We're still idling though. Come on. I don't know how, but it's still running. You know, fingers crossed. It's just the engine's so shaky. Everything's rattly. I don't know what it is. I mean, it could be a fuel delivery issue, a timing issue. I thought I had the timing set pretty good, but maybe not. I don't know. It seemed like it was pretty happy, but we'll find out. I mean, it's just the engine just shaking real crazy. But probably the best part is when you downshift when you're slowing down. wanting to backfire through the carburetor. Like it's only running on 7. We might go home and check the firing order and see if we can get it to run a little smoother. But it's not bad. It's not very fast though. That's to the floor. That's all she's got. Makes a bunch of noise. Oh no, we lost the hubcap! No! No, it's in the yard! No! It's in the yard! Oh no! We gotta go back and get our hubcap! Oh no! That's valuable, we need that hubcap. Uh-oh. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to go trespass to get my hubcap back. Did it hit the fence, brother? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. We might have to come back. Well, we hopped in a little bit more reliable car, the 66 Dart. We're gonna pull in the guy's driveway, and I wanted to knock on the door. I didn't want to just start, you know, running through his front yard without saying anything. So let's just pull in here and be like, hey, sorry, lost the hubcap. My bad. I'm sorry to bother you. I was driving by and I lost the hubcap in the front yard. Oh, wow. And I didn't want to just be looking through your yard without telling you. Oh, that's fine. Did you see where it went? It went somewhere that way. And I don't know, to be honest with you. We found it.
Well, these are probably pretty rare.
Well, we found all 4 of them in the trunk, and sure enough, they just were gone. There it is, laying in the yard. Thank you. I got my hubcap. I feel better now. Briar's gonna take it for a drive now, so just be on the lookout for, you know, death or anything. We decided to just leave that hubcap off. We're not even gonna try it. I'm just gonna go for a drive. Oh.
Boy, that's sick.
Whoop. Whoop. There's a second. There you go. Whoop. Look at that gun. Well, walking down the road, Briar called me and he said that his the car quit on him. So he's out here in the driveway. So he's like, I can't find the key because, well, the key was in my pocket the whole time. So I don't know, he's trying to push it out of the, I don't know, he's pushing it right now, it looks like. Oh gosh. I think he was kind of stuck out on the road, so he's having to push it up into the road. I don't know, man. I can't get the timing figured out. I go a little lower and it still backfires. Go a little higher, it still backfires. Maybe it's got a valve stuck. Maybe something's weird's going on. I don't really know. But all I can say is that whatever we do, I think the little 2-barrel is not the ticket. It's good enough to make it run, but I don't think it's all there. Even though after we rebuilt it and cleaned it out and everything, I just don't think that it's good enough. So, but we'll see. Heck, it could have ran out of gas for all we know. I don't know. I only had 2 gallons and we've been ripping around like crazy. What'd you do?
It wasn't my fault. They shot out a big fireball and died.
Shot out a big fireball, huh? Well, at least you did the right thing and got it out of the road. That was smart.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse, couldn't it?
Could have left it in the middle of the road.
Yeah, you could have just got out and walked away, couldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Left it.
well, these poor people's driveway. I hope I don't stain it up. Let's see if we can start it back. I don't know what the timing, I just can't figure it out. Like it's not happy. Your key, sir. Give it a little. There it is. Oh, there it ain't.
Oh, we got a gas.
I hope not. Yeah, we're out of gas. The filter's empty. Cool. Well, these poor people, I'm gonna have to leave our car here for a minute. I guess we'll just see if we can get a ride. What did you do?
You filled up the gas jug.
I did, but I guess not enough, right?
Not enough. Not all the way.
Well, we got to ride back to the shop, and we got a gas jug. Luckily, Briar has a cool truck, so we don't look that stupid when we have to go get gas and put it in this car. But you know, it's very important. Put gas in your Buick when you want to drive it. Oh look, there it is. Still where we left it. Step 1 to a happy Buick. Lots and lots and lots of gas. Step 2, I hadn't figured that one out yet. All right. It's filling up, go ahead. Oh boy. Oh boy. There's a little gas in there. Try it again. Uh-oh. Don't do this to me now. Come on. Oh, come on.
Hey, got it.
At least it's cooled off a little bit, I think. Pick up enough fuel? A little more. Ooh, she's hot. All of it. All of it. Not now. We fixed all that, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we fixed all that?
Like 3 times.
Hey! Oh no. Okay. To the floor. That's all she's got. It's weak. Which I don't know how fast these things were from the factory, but we're doing a solid 55 right now. Sucker's backfiring out of both ends. But it's fun. It's a lot of fun. Okay, one more. Fine, I'll do it again. Man, I just washed this car.
I'm sorry. I know, we just cleaned it. Oh, I got it dirty.
Hey, it runs a little better though, doesn't it? Yeah. Briar's turn. All the way in low. It actually runs a little better after doing that. Scared me a little bit. Yeah, give her one good more round right here. Woo! Atta girl. She's still got a lot of life left in her. Don't want to. Oh. Uh-oh.
Can't throw one more.
She's a little hot. She's puking out all the coolant. Well, we'll just let her sit right here and kind of, you know, do whatever you're doing. Hey, we did it though. Good job.
Thank you.
Well, folks, I went to go get the car out in the field, and I don't know how it happened. I have zero clue. In the last video, we went through and checked the firing order and checked it again to make sure that it was good. I mean, we checked it twice by the end of this thing. Somehow, we managed to get number 4 and number 6 backwards. Let me just show you what happens. Look at this thing. It's so smooth now. Like, that fixed all of our problems. I mean, it doesn't matter how much you mess with a car like this. It doesn't matter how much you try. Sometimes you're just gonna make a mistake. And I made a mistake when I checked the firing order. I just did it wrong, and that was our problem the whole time, you know, minus the carburetor and a couple other small stuff. But we thought we had it right, but somehow we just didn't, you know? And thankfully, it's back. And listen to her rev. Sucker's brand new. God, so we gotta go drive it again.
Now let this be an example to what it's like working on cars. Now I could have cut out all the section where it was running bad, we drove it up and down the road, it kept backfiring, but I want to leave that in because I want you guys to see what it's truly like to work on these old cars. And I've done firing order 1,000 times, I'll probably do it 10,000 more times, and it doesn't matter. I'll still mess up something because we went through it, we checked it, and it still somehow got crossed over. I'll take the blame on it. And that just goes to show you that it doesn't matter how long you've been doing something, you're still prone to mess something up. So if you're just starting out your journey with working on vehicles, or you want to do something like this, don't get discouraged, because no matter how far along you get, you still might mess something up. Now what I want to do is wait for Briar to get here, because I want him to see just how good this thing runs, because it's a whole brand new car. I mean, it just changed everything to fix a plug wire. So we're going to take this thing out for a drive once he gets here, and we're going to have a blast. I figured out the problem with the ignition switch.
It's broken.
Well, you have to be the ground. Just sit in there and start it, and you can actually see that it works good.
Is it actually going to shock me?
It might. Oh, and I also figured out we had a cross plug wire. Look how it runs now.
Pretty good.
We drove that thing around yesterday with 6 cylinders the whole time.
With 6.
And now it's running on all 8.
Now we got to do more donuts.
Now we have to drive it. Much better. The engine doesn't shake like crazy. It's so much better. We're doing 55 right now. This thing just runs. Isn't that crazy? Stupid little plug wires were that just, I don't know, we just weren't observing or something, or we just goofed it up. Yeah. Hey, we're doing 60, and the radio starts making funny noises when you do that. such a good car. I really like this car a lot. I mean, I was on the verge of just forget about it. Let's just toss it in the field and not look at it anymore, because the engine just was so bad. But it was just something I did on my own. Look at us now, we're cruising. I mean, I was just doing 65 just then, and it just cruises so nice. Yelling at you, don't go fast. I don't know. It only happens when you hit 60, don't it?
Yeah.
I think it's telling you not to go faster than 60. That's hilarious. So there's like a little dial on the speedometer, and it's adjustable. So if you drop it down, does it start yelling at you? Yep. So it's a speed indicator. It's telling you don't go faster than that.
That's wild.
That is hilarious. Who would have thought that a 65 Buick would tell you not to go fast?
Not me.
Because you really can't go fast, you know? Alright folks, that's going to do it for today's video. This Buick LeSabre is a monster. I'm so happy to see this come off sitting in a junkyard for nearly 30 years, and now it is back on the road where it belongs. So don't forget, subscribe, turn on the notifications, leave a like on this video if you enjoyed this. Go down to the link below, order your t-shirts and your stickers, because all the money that goes into that goes directly into putting stuff like this back on the road. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.